How mixed is mixed-race Britain? Newsnight has uncovered research which reveals that the country has changed significantly since the days when the TV sitcom Love Thy Neighbour meant anything but. The new figures show that Britain is a lot more mixed than previously thought. Instead of just asking people how they define themselves, researchers also asked about the ethnicity of their parents and found the number of mixed-race people in Britain was actually twice as large as previously thought. Mark Easton has been examining the findings.
She was black as a night. Louis was whiter than white. Danger, danger when you taste brown sugar. Louis
The story of love transcending racial difference has fascinated artists, writers and musicians for centuries. In the early 70s, it was the smooth cocoa and cream tones of Hot Chocolate exploring the thorny subject of mixed-race relationships.
I don't want no honky in my family. Dig it? No honky in my family.
The band is still touring, and the message of their hit Brother Louis is still resonating. Not least because it's now emerged that Britain's mixed-race population is significantly larger than previously thought. Since the 2001 census, measuring ethnicity in the UK has been achieved by simply asking people how they describe themselves. White, black, mixed, other.
But a more recent survey seen by Newsnight has also asked people about the ethnicity of their parents. And when the researchers looked at that data, they saw that the proportion of the population who said that their mum and dad were from different ethnic groups was far higher than the proportion who described themselves as mixed.
The most recent ethnicity survey of British adults shows that 0.9% regard themselves as mixed race. But the proportion of over 16-year-olds who say their parents are of different races is 2%, more than double the previous estimate.
I was very surprised to see that it's double. I mean, I would have expected maybe a little bit higher, but...
More than twice?
Yes.
The new data only tells us about adults, but we know that over half of mixed-race people in Britain are under 16. And separate research suggests the size of this group has also been significantly underestimated. Asking adults about the ethnicity of their children finds 3% of under 16-year-olds defined as mixed race. But further analysis of official data suggests the proportion of children living with adults from different ethnicities is 9%.
Using a technical rather than self-defined definition reveals up to 2 million mixed-race people in the UK, a larger group than any of the identified ethnic minorities. So, given humankind's ancient anxieties about the wisdom of racial mixing, how is this rapidly growing section of the British population faring?
Right, so this is my shisha room. Because of my daughter's Egyptian heritage, I've tried to make a bit of an Egyptian room for her.
In Bristol, I met Penny, a white single mum who can probably count herself as an expert on mixed-race relationships. Her 6 children are from 3 fathers with 3 different ethnic backgrounds.
The twins and this girl have got the Jamaican heritage, and these 2 have got the Ghanaian heritage, and this little one is the Egyptian.
3 key relationships in your life with men from other cultures. All 3 of them ultimately failed. People will ask, are you not living proof that these kind of relationships are less likely to survive?
I think that if you've got somebody from a different religion or a different culture, you've got barriers that you're overcoming. So my Egyptian partner, his family really wanted him to have a Muslim partner. So the fact that my religion or my beliefs or my spirituality was different, somebody should have told us that was doomed from the beginning, really. I think that the 2 black British people was not anything to do with race or religion that broke us up. I think that was very separate issues.
There are data to suggest that relationships between people with a different ethnic heritage may be more prone to failure. While the proportion of British children growing up in a single-parent family is 23% overall, among mixed-race children it's 38%. However, it's not clear whether this difference is down to cultural tensions or might actually reflect socio-economic factors.
What's often mixed up with race issues is poverty issues, and I think that if you look at the statistics of perhaps middle class or rich black families, maybe there aren't as many issues.
Remember the cool bass player from Hot Chocolate we saw performing at the Birmingham Jam House? Backstage, Patrick Olive revealed himself as a Daily Mail reading crossword addict. And when I met him at his home in an almost exclusively white middle-class corner of Sussex, he told me of the time, like in the song Brother Louis, when his hopes of dating a white girl were met by hostility and prejudice.
Our father was breathing fire and brimstone. He wouldn't have anything to do with it at all.
It was just pure prejudice, was it?
Yes.
Did you meet him? I mean, do you remember that?
I met him, yes, but I used to look at him and see if he's going to look my way at all, but he never did throughout the evening that I spent. It was her 21st birthday party, but he never looked probably looked my way when I wasn't looking at him. Our eyes never met.
A quarter of a century later, and Patrick's eyes did meet across a crowded space. He met, and then married, Jane.
Years ago, people hid their relationships if they were in a different relationship. Today, to me, people don't seem to care.
No hostility, no sense of something odd or wrong about what you've done with your relationship?
Not in this area. We've never encountered anywhere at all, in or out of this area.
Everybody's very friendly. They're just Pat and Jane.
You seem to think that maybe we get a bit hung up on prejudice and racism. It's going to just need to be a lot more relaxed about it.
Yeah, too hung up. I mean, if you don't mind me mentioning my gollywog collection, a lot of people might be thinking, what? A black man is collecting gollywogs? But I love gollywogs.
Mixed-race relationships may be unusual in the rural heartlands of Middle England, but where once there might have been hostility, today they barely raise an eyebrow.
You don't think twice because it is a completely multicultural country.
I'm not here in Shoreham, though. I mean, it's pretty white down here.
Yes.
But we do get television.
Yeah.
They are the faces of New Britain, the poster boys and girls for a multicultural nation. Models, athletes, pop stars and sporting heroes. Mixed is mainstream. So how is the new generation of mixed-race youngsters faring? There have been concerns that dual ethnicity might lead to double disadvantage, missing out on support from both white majority and ethnic minority groups. One early indication of this might emerge in the classroom. So Newsnight has commissioned analysis looking at attainment in English primary schools. It reveals a mixed picture for mixed-race pupils. Among white British 10-year-olds, 77% reach the expected standard across maths, English and science. For mixed white and black children, the figure drops to 73%. But that's still well above the score for black youngsters, results which are thought to reflect economic as well as cultural differences. We did find one mixed-race group which appears to be thriving. Mixed white and Asian children score 79%, similar to Indian pupils, but far higher than Pakistani and Bangladeshi. In Bristol, Penny doesn't think her children are doubly troubled, but doubly blessed. They are all high achievers at school and on the sports field.
I call it from being polite and very, very good.
As a single mum, her only concession to their mixed ethnicity is a concerted effort to fill in any cultural gaps.
I've tried to give them a mix of foods, a mix of music, a mix of religions, an insight into their history.
So you have felt responsibility?
Yes, I have felt that responsibility. Yeah, I have, because I have always told my children, you're actually better than everybody else because you've got two cultures.
Do you think of yourself as a black person, a mixed person, or what?
Mixed race.
Definitely mixed race. You're proud of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Troy?
Mixed race.
Definitely mixed. Yeah. So if someone said to you, you're black, would you correct them?
Yeah. I got a white mum and a black dad.
despite its growth, and however you measure it, the mixed-race population still represents no more than 3% of British people. But it is increasing fast, a growth spurt that coincides with a period of self-confidence and optimism. Those who predicted a cultural identity crisis have been proved wrong. If anything, in multicultural Britain, ethnicity is increasingly not the point.
Rock and roll! Yeah!
Mark Easton, just tomorrow morning's